Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricundo. Come back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about Kyler Murray. The rumors about the Falcons may be in pursuit of him if a trade was to happen. So before we get into that news, go ahead, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, today we're going to talk about the rumors about if the Arizona Cardinals decide to trade Kyler Murray. The same teams that was interested in Deshaun Watson would probably be interested into Kyler Murray. And so we're going to talk about how the Falcons play into that. Because, of course, they was one of the teams that was in high pursuit of Deshaun Watson. And how that would that affect these guys for this year and in years in the future to come. So let's just talk about it. So first of all, let's talk about Kyler Murray, the quarterback, the player himself. His first 3 years, he's actually had a pretty good career so far. In 3 years, he got 70 touchdowns, 34 interceptions, 93.9 quarterback rating, and he has been a Pro Bowler in those 3 years. If you guys remember last year, they had a great start the season off last year. They should have been the favorite to actually go deep in the playoff runs, but as you guys know, Kyler Murray started to take a little injury. DeAndre Hopkins got hurt, and they kind of floundered in the playoff game against the Los Angeles Rams, the eventual Super Bowl winner. So the Kyler Murray, the quarterback, the player, actually, like I said, has had a pretty good career to start off. The offense that he's probably in, they kind of catered the offense to him. They brought in Cliff Kingsbury to actually be his coach, to kind of run that offense for Kyler Murray, and he has actually been pretty dynamic over his first 3 years. All right, so let's get into the Atlanta Falcons and how that would affect them. So like I said, guys, when I talked about the Atlanta Falcons going out and actually getting Deshaun Watson, I talked about having a franchise quarterback that probably could actually be with a team for 10 to 15 years, and that's what you want. How hard it is to actually find a franchise quarterback. So I get it. I understand about trying to find that franchise quarterback after you get rid of your quarterback for after 14 years. And so it makes sense for somebody to say that the Atlanta Falcons would be in the sweepstakes just like they were for Deshaun Watson for Kyler Murray. The difference is in between that situation, Kyler Murray does not have the issues and the concerns that Deshaun Watson would have. Of course, with the 22 silver suits, so I guess it would bring a bigger issue than it did with Deshaun Watson, with the fan base and all things that go along with that. Now, the question would be the same. Of course, the Houston Texans wanted about 3 first-round picks and some more stuff to actually bring in Deshaun Watson. So the question would be, what would be the asking price for somebody like a Kyler Murray if the Atlanta Falcons was to actually go down this road to pursue a Kyler Murray? What would be the asking price? And then the next question would be, would the Falcons be really willing to mortgage that asking price to go for Kyler Murray? That would be the question. So I get it. So now, after we went through all that, the practicality of it, the understanding about why the Falcons would actually go down this road, and would they actually give up all these picks that it would take to actually get a Kyler Murray, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my opinion about the whole situation. So my opinion is that Um, Hopefully, the Falcons do not go down that road of getting a Kyler Murray. Um, I just feel like the asking price would be too much. I think they kind of lucked up when they didn't get Deshaun Watson, not just because of the civil cases, but because of what they would have to give up to get him. And I think that would be the same situation with somebody like a Kyler Murray. Giving up 3 first-round picks for a team that really needs to actually add pieces to make this team better, and you would give up all those picks for a quarterback that in the last 2 seasons kind of been a little injury prone, and when you do get him, you won't have any draft capital of any assets to actually make the team better. So he would have to now be the Superman, the one man show to try to make this team be better in the future. And if you're giving up all your draft capital, where are you going to get those pieces from? You would have salary cap space. I think that would factor in. I think they owe Kyler Murray like $5 million going into the season. But of course, the biggest issue now is that he won a contract, and that's why he's potentially talking about he's not going to show up for any of the practices and camp in this season until he get a contract. So, of course, the Falcons would also have to be willing to actually go ahead and pay him that salary that he wants. Right now, the going rate for a quarterback in this market is about $45 to $46 million a year. So, once again, you will have to factor that in to a quarterback. Like I said, he has had a pretty good first 3 years in his career. He has not won any playoffs games. He have not had any MVPs. However, like I said, he is a Pro Bowler. Pro Football Focus actually put him in the top 3 passing rating last year. So he does have the stats to back up where he's asking for, but at the same time, as a Falcon franchise with so many holes on this team, on the defensive side of the ball, no receiver, giving up all those valuable draft assets to go get him, I think would actually hurt the team more than would help the team. So that's just my opinion on it. Like I said, I understand trying to get a franchise quarterback, but like you said, you have to just weigh the pros and cons to going out and get a potentially starting quarterback. Now, the pros for this, like I said, is potentially having a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years in place. I really think having a franchise quarterback is important to any franchise. So having a franchise quarterback in place for the next 10 years is a big deal. The question I would always ask about any team that's trying to get rid of a young quarterback, and just 3 years in, why would another team go out and pay all that money for that person, that player? Because it's got to be something other underlining that franchise is willing to give up their franchise quarterback that could be with them for the next 10 years, and for you to actually to take on that player and give him that same contract that they was not willing to give him, especially when it's no guarantee that they're going to be able to find a franchise quarterback moving forward. So that's the pros. I get it, having a franchise quarterback. I think the cons are more from my point of view of why we should not actually go in and get somebody like a Kyler Murray. The first con is that, like I said, you're going to have to pay him. You're going to pay him that big contract. I think right now the Falcons need to build a team up around the defense. Get you a young quarterback, if anything, that you don't have to pay him for a couple years and build that team up first. So that would be the con. So if you take somebody like a Kyler Murray, the first con would be giving up all those assets, and then you have to actually go ahead and pay him that contract. So let's just put it in perspective. If you're willing to actually do that now as a franchise, I think these guys got a good plan in place. I think they need to stick to their plan and don't give up our assets. Don't be willing to pay $46 million a year at this time when your team is really need to be built from the inside out and not just going out and getting that franchise quarterback at this moment. The last thing I would say was just looking at somebody like a Matt Ryan who actually played for 14 years and only mixed 3 games. And then you have somebody like a Kyler Murray who's very athletic, very explosive, but have a lot of injuries, and not that big in stature. That how well will he hold up in NFL for a long period of time? So that would be my other question. You cannot take nothing away from Matt Ryan. Like I said, being here 14 years and only missing 3 games in those 14 years. So with the body stature of Kyler Murray, it's about 5'10", small in stature. How well will he be able to hold up in this system with Arthur Smith, who's want to run a physical style offense? It's really not spread. It's not open. He want to run the ball. He want to slow the game down. He want to do a lot of play action pass. Of course, you want to change. You can definitely change the way he want to run his offense. But I would think that the way Kyler Murray plays is really not a good fit for the Atlanta Falcons and what Arthur Smith want to do. I think the philosophy that he has is totally different than the kind of skill set that a Kyler Murray has. So I definitely would not make this deal, but we have to talk about it. It is a rumor. At the end of the day, I could see why the Falcons would go down this road. This new regime is aggressive. They're trying to make a deal to make this team better by all means, but I think they need to stick to the plan that they got in place. And they got off our Matt Ryan contract. So now this season is to just stay focused, stay on the plan, and actually go through this season and then worry about a quarterback maybe next season. And if they was to take a rookie quarterback, I would like that even better than taking somebody like a Kyler Murray, who's definitely more proven than any rookie quarterback that you can draft this year. But in the long run, in the long term, I think it would be better for these Atlanta Falcons to actually stick with the plan, build a defense up, build this team inside out, and then bringing that young quarterback around a good, solid football team. And to me, that's probably the best way to do it. If you give up all your assets to go get somebody like a Kyler Murray, we don't know what the asking price would be, but I would anticipate it's at least going to be 2 first-round picks and maybe something else. If you give away your first 2-round picks and any other assets that you do, it's going to be hard for you to build this team moving forward. So that's my opinion. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about the Atlanta Falcons potentially pursuing a Kyler Murray if he was to come up in trade talks. I think it would definitely be the NFC South in the picture again. I'm not sure how much the Saints would be in play. The Panthers, there's a rumor about the Panthers might be pursuing Baker Mayfield, so they would be out. So Atlanta could definitely be one of the teams that could be the front runner, along with somebody like a Philadelphia, a Pittsburgh Steelers. Definitely could be somebody else that was needed a quarterback. So all these teams that could definitely be in the line for a quarterback, definitely could see somebody could be pursuing of a Kyler Murray based off the asking price. But from my standpoint, for the Atlanta Falcons, I think they need to stay pat Need to continue the plan that they're on and just focus on this draft and building the team up that way. So guys, that's all I have. I'm really really interested in see what you guys think about bringing in the Kyler Murray. I'm gonna say a hard no to that. I like his talent, but I just don't like the fit at the end of the day. So that's the way I feel about it. You guys let me know what you think. This is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.